sophomore year or junior year, I think. And I sent an email to her website, completely blind, you know, just it said for business email here, and it was her manager, Slim Moon, who I had no idea who he was because I'm ignorant, and so I said, can I open for you sometime? And that was all. And I included a link to the new record that we had just recorded on a label in Virginia called Trust Me, and Slim actually responded a few weeks later, maybe, and he said he didn't have any spots available, but he'd keep me in mind. And he actually had listened to the record, which is totally unheard of. And he's sort of a denizen of punk and indie rock or whatever. And he got in touch a few weeks after that and asked for a contribution to this songwriters compilation called The Sound the Hair Heard, which KRS was putting out. And then I looked at the roster and I saw that it was Sufjan Stevens was on it, and Colin Meloy, and these names, and I started to understand that it was more legitimate than I thought. Because at first I was like, who is named Slim Moon? What the hell, you know, get this guy out of here. From there we recorded a demo, because Slim's idea was to shop into a label. He said, who's your ideal producer? And I said Tucker Martine. I had worked with Laura Beers and I had worked with Aaron McEwen and subsequently Sufjan Stevens and Decemberist and whatever, so he's big time, you know, or he's amazing, and Slim knows him, you know, because of Laura Beers, and called him up and he agreed to do the demo, and then at this point Slim left Kill Rock Stars and Portia Sabin took over, and she signed us.
Talk soft so you fall asleep.
I think I have known since maybe I was 13 that this was the truth, you know. My mom said I've always been a ham, which I don't remember, but I guess so. And it's the only time that I am that extroverted. You know what's weird is to get what you thought you wanted, and then you're like, do I want this? Holy shit! You know, when you're somewhere in the Midwest, and you're like eating out of a gas station. Do you want? I don't know. Is that what I wanted? I was younger. When I was really young, my dad was a huge, which is hilarious because he's, you know, this Vietnamese man, but he loved Marty Robbins, and there's this one song called El Paso, down in the West Texas town of El Paso, and he falls in love with a Mexican girl. But anyway, I love that song, and so he was into more country and roots stuff, and when I started learning guitar, independent of anyone in the house, I just picked it up, but I was most attracted to that style of playing. Incredibly intricate picking and very dexterous, but it progresses the song as well. You know, it's not like you stop the chords or anything, it's just within the chords. So I really was into that, and I loved Motown and 60s pop, and I still do. It's my favorite kind of music to listen to. But I think a lot of, with the guitar playing, it was, when I first started, you show up at open mic nights and you are a female with a guitar, you're immediately dismissed. To be honest, I mean, I'm not really into that kind of music myself anymore. So my intention with learning the guitar and studying it was to get good enough to separate myself from that and to make myself more of a player, you know. And with that, the songwriting had to become more percussive, and it had to become, you know, whatever it is what I concentrated on. Both are products of what I'm more interested in. You know, musically, I like the upbeat stuff, and I like the groove. And for a live show, I want that sort of energy. But lyrically, I'm more inclined to go in the direction of whatever, more melancholy things. You know? And that's in my personality too. You know, I like sadness. It's appealing to me. When I write, it's because I'm trying to sort something out. It's probably something bad. So it just makes sense that, you know, But I can't have like I can't have sad lyrics and a sad sounding song. I think it's too much. Well, I hope. I don't know, but these are all my hopes. And if you don't get better, then you should just stop. But the songs are less country and folk, I think. A lot less folk. Because I grew up, it was prime time Lilith there, you know. So that's, a lot of that is in my earlier work. But I've said this before, but I do mean it. Like the Linen, which was the first record, I blamed everyone else, and in the second record, I blame myself a lot. And it's recognition, and it's just a mark of maturity, like in a forced maturity. You know, I didn't necessarily mean to confront like all these shortcomings that I think that I have, you know, but it just happened. And as far as the songs, definitely I write more for a band now.